I want to do something a little different for this series. It will be a slow, chill, laid back sort of Minecraft Let's Play series. Nothing special. Minecraft will be the background as I lay out some thoughts and experiences I've had over my 31 years of life. I want to first talk about money and time. Now, I don't have professional financial training, so I will not give any personal financial advice. I am just going to talk about my personal experiences that I've had and where they've led me today. This is actually somewhat of a difficult task for me because I get so excited over my breakthroughs. I feel that I need to instruct the world how to experience those breakthroughs. The problem is, a breakthrough, for me, will likely look very different from your breakthrough because we are different people with different experiences, thoughts, beliefs, and motivations. And for me, I've noticed that a breakthrough is not a one-time occurrence. I believe it is a combination of the efforts that I've made, which eventually led me to the place where I could experience a significant change. In other words, I first had to make a lot of small changes in my mind, which prepared me for the big shift. Money has always been a source of tension in my life, and still is today. However, I was recently inspired by a video from David Bayer, which I will link in the description below. This video provided one of the breakthroughs I'd like to talk about today. So I want to thank David from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Your video has changed my life forever. Now, if you, the viewer, by chance decide to watch that video and you don't feel the same shift, I want to encourage you not to feel disheartened. As I mentioned, I believe a shift comes from a multitude of small changes. The video I referenced is just one of the many videos I watched on my journey for peace with money. Now, in that video by David, he had a conversation with a fellow man who was searching for his own peace with money. David asked him, "What do you want to do?" And he answered, "I want to be a billionaire." David then said something to the effect of, "I want to just slightly adjust that. Instead of wanting to be a billionaire, I want to encourage you to want to create something in society that is worth $1 billion. Now, of course, I had heard this phrase said many different ways before. This time, when I heard it, I suddenly realized the significance of it in respect to my own life. I had desperately chased money for most of my life, but money wasn't actually the thing I wanted. It was the ability to create something that had significance to me. This video is a product of that desire. I knew for a long time that I wanted to make money with Minecraft. It is a game that is near and dear to my heart, as I first started playing it back in alpha when the game only costed $12. And I thought, If I could make an income with Minecraft, I would be happy and set for life. But despite this, I had a lot of limiting beliefs, which held me back from ever starting something. Today, I've noticed that a lot of trending YouTube videos tend to be very fast-paced, very edit-heavy. I briefly tried to make a similar short, and I did okay. I'll link that in the description. The problem was I was exhausted. I exhausted myself making it, and immediately dreaded making the next video. Now, one incredibly powerful and significant limiting belief I had was that of financial scarcity. I grew up feeling incredibly financially insecure, even though my parents actually happened to be very successful business people. Even though they were successful, money was a point of contention. And I think that this had partially been so unintuitive for me because I had thought the problem was the money. I figured that although we made a lot, we didn't make enough to feel safe. So we were all money chasers. It became a desperate sort of desire that narrowed our vision and brought a lot of stress into our lives. So what changed? Actually, not much. I still kept chasing money. The difference for me is because I was a very interpersonal sort of person. My path naturally led me towards ways to think about money. And that led me to David's video. Another thing he mentioned that had a very significant impact on me was the affirmation, I have always had enough money. As he mentions, enough was enough for a person to survive their life, but not to thrive. In my case, I had been unemployed for over a year. This was a great source of stress because I was also supporting my beautiful fiance. I felt that a lot of his suffering was my fault because I was an inadequate provider. So I chased money for the both of us. Around that time in the video is where I experienced that really profound shift. I was like, oh, I've really been looking at things entirely wrong. I understand now what the source of money is. I understand now how I want to live my life. Because another point brought up in the video, he says that people usually want money because they want it to do what they really want to do in their lives. And I want to break down what that meant for me. One is that I am a provider. Because of this, I felt that I needed to get money first in order for my fiance to be a happy, relaxed person. I don't think there is anything wrong with people wanting their dear ones to be secure and taken care of. The problem is that this is one thing that was actually holding me back. I felt guilty doing anything else because clearly my loved one was suffering and I should be doing something about it. So my thought process was this. Once I have financial freedom and security, my fiance will be properly taken care of. And so then I can focus on the things that make me happy. 2 is because of that, my money was a means to an end. So the opportunities I was chasing were for the dream of doing what I wanted. The problem with that for me was that I did not have the sort of skill set to have it happen within a reasonable amount of time. The bigger problem with that was that I was doing something that I wasn't enjoying for the sake of getting that money. For a long time, I couldn't figure out why I could never stick to any given money-making project I was on. The reason is that even if I had been successful in making a lot of money, I would still be in a state of financial scarcity because I had built my wealth on activities that I did not enjoy. I would not be happy or feel safe with that money because getting it was a struggle. I would not feel happy or safe even with $1 million, at least not for long, because I instinctively knew that money in its physical state is not a guarantee. My father used to be a millionaire, and he lost it all in the stock market crash. Three is that I had been wired since childhood to believe video games were a waste of time. And this was my father's belief, my stepfather's belief, and it became my belief, no matter how much I rebelled against it. I still felt that it was a guilty pleasure, that games could not truly offer something of value, even though for me it already had. It provided a place of respite where I could take a break from the overwhelming stressors in my life. So I wanted to make money with Minecraft, but I had 2 directly competing beliefs. One was that I needed to prioritize getting money over anything else. And 2 was that Minecraft was a waste of time. And the deeper implication there being that it could not have a significant impact on the real life problems of people, and therefore could not be a reliable source of income. I also felt that I was living on borrowed money from my parents, from anyone who gave it to me, from a dear friend. So I thought to myself that I needed to pay them back. I wasn't allowed to indulge in what I really wanted until I paid them back. Playing games for a few hours every week was fine, but anything more than that was selfish. And I wanted that negative attachment of not having enough money with me gone. I believed that people treated me worse because they had invested in me, and I had let them down. So for me, financial security was not a certain amount of money, but the ability to reliably make money. The problem with that for me was that any system I made ultimately depended on my continued ability to do it. And that was a problem if what I really wanted was more or less permission to pursue my aspirations. Now, I am still in poverty. I still have a fiance to take care of. And I am still living off the generosity of others. The difference for me is that I have a belief that is congruent with the observations of my life. And that is that money is the return of value you can give to the world. This is not just permission for me to indulge. Rather, my new belief informs me that I actually cannot make the value I desire if I don't indulge. Because I had been diagnosed with major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety disorder as a teen, I was always looking for new ways to think which could help me navigate my disabilities. This was a survival technique that became a lifelong passion. I knew that I had limits to sticking something out. So what I primarily searched for was how to mitigate my internal resistance. In other words, how could I make a task or group of tasks easier for me to accomplish so I could do more with the precious little energy and focus I had. So since I know that gritting my teeth through it was not sustainable long term, I only have one other option: to make value doing what I've always wanted to do, because now I have something that will last. I don't need to worry about the ups and downs in my life, because playing Minecraft and talking about my experiences doesn't take effort and pain for me. Rather, it is a source of comfort. And that is also why I am not going to be heavily editing my videos, because I don't want to spend a long time on that. The source of my joy is in sharing what I've experienced and in playing Minecraft. The beautiful thing about this is that for me, now that I have this belief, time doesn't matter. When I was chasing money, time felt short. I wanted to get it as quick as possible to get on with really enjoying myself. But now it doesn't matter if the way my videos are formatted aren't mainstream. Doesn't matter if it will take months or years to take off. I will still find other ways to make money in the meantime, but I am no longer desperate to make things work out as soon as possible. I am doing what I want right now, so it doesn't matter if I don't have a lot of followers, or if I think my voice sounds a bit too childish, or if none of my videos go viral for a long time. It also doesn't matter if I decide to put money into my project and it doesn't bring an immediate return on income, because I am not investing with the intention to eventually trade it off for something else. If I do, eventually, that's okay, and I'll do that because I want to. But investing in my business is investing in my hobby. And when I buy something for my hobby, it's because I believe that it will enhance the experience that I have. It will bring me more joy. So if I invest in my business, I can't lose, because even if it doesn't mean more clicks, more subscribers, more money, it still brings me more happiness, which is really far more valuable than any of these things for me. So even if I'm not mainstream with the style of my videos, it won't bother me as much to continue posting, because I still believe in the value these videos may present to others. And because doing this is already pure indulgence, and recording all of this and posting it on YouTube is minimal effort. I'm not overly worried about a schedule or about gaining an audience fast, though I would love if I did. I am simply focused on providing value in the way that is easy and natural for me. And I believe the rest will take care of itself.